happy day. I got sound. I held a Danite down, and he admitted to me that they were trying. He was sent by President Thomas M. Monson, S. Monson. I don't even remember, but I got my sound back. And I'm telling you something, if you look at my videos and they have no sound, they suck. They totally suck. It's just an old bastard sitting in a closet with a light over his head, and he's doing that. You can't hear shit. So, you know, try turning your volume down and watch one of my videos and know how I was suffering. I couldn't even test. After I do a video, I'll test them to make sure that they're on and that the sound is there and whatever. Anyway, let me tell you something funny, just off subject. At night, well, not just night, all the time, I sit in my chair in my room like Captain Kirk. Except I don't have a Data or a Spock, and Data I think was in the new series. So anyway, I'll sit there and I light my incense. That is so nice to light it, and I light it in the morning when the sunlight is just breaking through the Australian desert, and the smoke is just mesmerizing. It's beautiful, and the smell is beautiful. Well, anyway, I sit there, and being diabetic, I have to have cookies sometime, and that's why I'm fat. And I have to shoot my insulin and whatever, so I'm always saying to my little one, Allison, I said, Allison, could you, and I have an intercom, so I just push the button and say, Allison, can you come in here and help Daddy? And so she's so good. She's like a little nurse. She comes, and she's so cheerful. Allison sings all the time in the house, and I just turn my radios and shit off because I love to hear her sing. So it was getting late last night, and she'd already come in. She waters my waterfall. I love to watch my waterfall, and it runs out of water every day. So she comes in and does the water, and then she throws water in the jacuzzi. Well, I'd worked her ass off. I feel bad. I feel bad. But anyway, I was sitting there, and I hit the intercom because she went to bed. And sometimes, you know, she goes right to sleep. Well, I needed something. I don't remember what it was. And I pushed the enter button, and I said, Allison, have you gone to sleep yet? And she said, yes. God damn, that's the smartest kid in the world. And my wife comes on the intercom and says, well, how can you be asleep if you're saying yes? The kid's smarter than the adults in the house. So I didn't make her come in. Now, the other thing, I've teased all the time about her rabbit. She has a little rabbit that she just loves. And I get to babysit it sometimes, but she doesn't trust me most of the time because the rabbit likes to fly. And she says, she's the little mother to the rabbit, says, he likes to fly, but he doesn't like to land. I said, well, let's hook him on the ceiling fan. He'll just go round and round, and he won't have to land. She says, Dad, he's not going on the ceiling fan. So anyway, I hide the rabbit, and I play with her with the rabbit all the time. Now, I told her the other day, and I shouldn't have, because, you know, this kid has a memory, and this kid is smart as hell. I said, well, you know, when you're at school, I've used the rabbit on my show. Without my permission? Yeah. You know, I've had the rabbit on the show so that everybody has been able to see it. And she says, well, I don't want it on your show anymore. There's a smart kid. And then she says, you owe me money. I said, what? She says, you owe me money. I said, what, for royalties? And she goes, yes. If you use the rabbit, you pay. So, God dang, I had to give her $1.50. I'm so embarrassed. She ripped me for $1.50 for royalties. So I'm not even. I was going to show you the rabbit today, but it probably cost me $3 or $4. No, I'm not. Now, let me give you the quick story. And you know me, there's no such thing as a quick story. My computer, you knew I had no sound, and I really wanted to be appreciative to all the people that wrote in and said, try this, try that, and I did. I tried everything that you all wrote in. and it didn't work. I was like 5 days without sound, and I had things on the screen I'm sure were from hell. You know, don't touch this, do that, do the A, B, C. I went to the internet and had 900 websites of how to get it, and then I had to follow down through it, and then I had to try to, I was going to erase the whole computer. And then I didn't know, would Windows still be on it? I didn't know. And so then I tried to do some backup disk, and I have this little, what do you call these, plugins? And my wife brought it up, and I waited for like 2 hours, and it was working and working. And then the son of a gun goes, there's not enough room on that. This has failed. And I was going to take the computer, and I live in a basement apartment, so it's hard to throw it out the window because you have to throw it up and come back and hit you in the head. So I'm frustrated. So I said to myself, damn, I need to go to a JC or a tech college and take a class or two in learning how to not throw it out the window. Now, I decided, well, should I buy a new one? Well, the new one's about $300 for a tower, and that's what I use. And a laptop, my fingers are too fat. I can't do the little thing on. I go, you son. My wife's laptop, I can't even use it. So I thought, well, I'm going to go down and see how much they're going to charge me, maybe to fix it, and then I'll decide. If it's like $100 to fix it, that's 1/3 of a new computer. Hell, I'll just buy the new computer. So I went down and I found a computer store, and I didn't take the computer down because I've lived this life. I know this world. I'm not going to unplug that crap. Carry that big thing down 3 staircases, which is, we're so deep in the apartment downstairs in the Everglades. Oh, I didn't tell you, we did move to the Everglades now. I thought, well, hell, I'll just go in and ask the guy. So I did. I walk in, and this guy is there, and he had other customers in front of me, and you know us, bipolar, we don't like to wait. So, you know, I tapped my feet, folded my arms, did this. Yeah, I did everything I could to hurry that old boy up. But anyway, I got my turn, and the boy behind the counter, I don't know, he must have been 30, 35, and he has like one arm in a sling, and he's hobbling. Now, I thought maybe he was a skier, or he was getting buff, riding a bike, and he fell off. Well, I heard him say to the other customer, well, if your system goes back more than 2 years, I don't know anything about those systems. I go, holy shit, where's he been for 2 years? But you know me, I was a Mormon. I trust everybody. I believe, and I just bow my head. I walk up there. And he said to the other people, well, my disability doesn't allow me to remember. Now, believe me, I have a soft spot in my heart for people who are disabled. But I'm not going to let a blind man drive a bus. No, the ADA does not allow blind men to drive a bus. Now here I've got a computer expert. He doesn't know anything beyond 2 years back, and he can't remember anything. I thought, my computer will be gone. When I come back here in 8 or 9 days, I'm sure, he'll say, I forgot you and I forgot your computer. So I'm nervous as hell right now, nervous as hell. And so he says, well, what's wrong with your computer? And I said, well, if I knew that, would I be standing here in front of you? And he says, well, I can't remember. I'm going, oh my God. Here goes my money out on I-15, which is in the Everglades. They have an I-15 in the Everglades too. Just throwing it out, and maybe a homeless guy will get a bill or a quarter. That's what I throw, or quarters. So I said to him, well, here's the deal. My computer has internal sound. I can play music and my speakers work, but when I get on the internet, I get no sound. I can get the pictures and I can get on the internet, but I get no sound. And so he says to me, and I heard something very different, but his words were this: I've never heard of that before. I don't know what that is. Now, inside a bipolar head, he was saying, I'm an absolute fraud. I don't know shit about computers. I'm going to rip you a new asshole, and you're going to wish that you had never come in this store. Now, that's what a bipolar person was thinking that this man was saying. And I can't tell you. Now, maybe the rest of you are like this. I can't tell you how many times in my life people say to me, I've never seen this before. This has never happened before. I always have to open a box when I buy like a vacuum cleaner or a TV. I have to open the box in the store, and I have to see it work. From years of living, everything, not everything, I'm exaggerating, I'm saying 3 to 5 days a week, I hear the phrase, this has never happened before. I don't know. Now, these are experts. These are people that are supposed to know. So anyway, I thought, well, I don't want to be part of a training program. I'm really obnoxious with that. You know, I go into a store, and here's a person. It could be a very young person, a very old person. And the supervisor or the manager is standing right there beside him. And so I put my stuff up there to go through the check stand or whatever. And I look up and I say to the manager, am I in a training program here? And they'll say, yes. And I'll collect my crap back up and say, I charge for training. I'm going to go to the next cashier that knows what the hell is going on. And I do. And they go, hey, you know, everybody knows. You bow your head and come through. I go, no, no, no. The new Caribou doesn't do training programs. Now, I decided to go to another computer store, and thank God we have one. I talked to the guy, and he was very knowledgeable this time. And he says, well, I have a man that'll come to your home for $45 for the first hour, and he should be able to fix that. And I said, hey, I don't have to bring the computer down here and unplug it and then spend 19 hours trying to find out which plug goes back and this and that and laying on the floor. Now I'm too old and fat. I can't get off the floor. My kids have to drag me over to the staircase and prop me up. I said, hey, this is a good deal. This is a good deal. So he came out and on time, and he sat here in my chair, and I asked him if he wanted to be on YouTube. He goes, no, no, I don't. Anyway, he hit like 8 or 9 buttons. Bam! He wasn't here 45 seconds. And I handed him $45, but it was worth it. He went to school, he learned these things, I didn't know shit, and I was going to be here the rest of my life with no sound, and he did it, and it was well worth $45. So I wanted to thank you people who tried to help me in vain. You guys didn't know shit, but I did all the things you did, and even the guy that told me to throw the son of a bitch down the staircase to pick it up at the bottom and see if it works. Hey, I tried everything. So I appreciate you and your concern too. And I don't think he was a Danite. He did take my youngest daughter, Allison. I haven't seen her since, so I think he's holding her till the check clears. Oh, Allison, you won't be back. Oh God! You know, when I was in Provo at BYU, you know, we wrote checks. Didn't matter if we had any money in the accounts at all. We just figured that bad check charges were part of our monthly payment to the bank. But since I've married Mercy, she's never bounced a check, and she's never had a late payment. Now, with my background and my history, you know this girl. She wears the panties in the house over the pants. So anyway, she tries to control me and does a pretty good job. So anyway, oh, I wanted to say one more thing before I go. I haven't read my name. Now, you have to realize, you people that are new, I just had a young man do a video for an answer. And he was a Mormon. I'm sure he was a Mormon, and he was not impolite. He didn't say, suck my genitalia like most of the Mormons do. And he gave his opinion. He said, you know, I don't think this man knows what he's talking about. And you can look at it. I didn't erase it. I usually delete videos because they're trying to sell something. He wasn't. He was just an honest kid. giving his opinion, and he has a right to do that, and I respect that. Now, just because he's an idiot, that no, I didn't mean that. No. So anyway, I've left that on, so you can take a look at that and enjoy it. And I didn't, but you might. Okay, now now people looking at me for the first 1 or 2 times, the name that I use on this video channel, I didn't make up. Now, I made up the New Caribou. That's from the Philippines. I was around a lot of caribous, and I didn't think any of them were new. They were very old caribous, and they kind of moved like a geriatric ward at your local, shelter. But anyway, the names that I use here are names that people gave me. Now, on the other side of this paper are the names the Mormons gave me. I don't read those. Ass hat, asshole, screw you. I don't read those names. But you nice people who have written in have given me a very long name. Now, I didn't think anything could come in again that would excite me. But the 14-year-olds came in, and I take it back. No, that's the Joseph complex. So I didn't think I would ever take another piece of a name. And so you people, don't think I made this up. These are names you gave me. And when I told you I was bipolar, some of you are very mean to handicapped people, because you know one of the symptoms of being bipolar is grandiosity. We think we're smarter, we think we're better, and we think we're superior beings from the rest of you. And some of you knew that, and then you write these in, and I go, oh, I like that one. Oh, and it fits inside my head. See, other people think. I go, okay, here's the last. I hope the last one that I take. This one came in yesterday or before. The Supreme Being. The Supreme Being. Now, I told my wife that, and she almost threw up. She's still Mormon. She goes, you son of a bitch. You're not a god. And I said, yeah, I left the Mormon church and I've become a god already. I don't need to hang around with you people to become gods. I'm a god now. Someone called me the Supreme Being. So let me read you my name, which I didn't at the beginning, just from not being able to remember. Okay, I'm the New Caribou, the Honorable Sir David, Emperor of Salt Lake City, Sultan of Utah, Spiritual Advisor to Questioning Mormons, the Bard Extraordinaire, and the Supreme Being. That makes bipolar people happy, happy, happy. They go, jeez. He thinks he's a god. I go, they all know now. I was trying to hide it. And my wife, she's never come up and seen one video. Not one. She's never come up and seen one, because she's Mormon. And they've been trained to stay away from the internet and people like me. So when I told her I am now the Supreme Being, she went bullshit. She was so mad. She was jumping around like an Indian dance for rain. You're not a god. And I said, well, some people think I am. She said, well, I know you're not. So anyway, I have my sound back, and my attitude has greatly improved, and I am happy, Mormons. I did resign from your church. I was not excommunicated, and I have the happiest years of my life right now out of the Mormon church. And frankly, I didn't know I was going to become a god. I thought I had to stay in your church for that. But I go, no, shit, just get on the YouTube. They'll say you're a god, you're bipolar, you're going to believe it. And you've been rewarded for leaving the Mormon church. You got the godhood early. Thanks.